I feel like I'm still like processing.
Let's take a deep breath.
I still am kind of just like processing what just happened.
Can you just give me a cheers?
Okay,
Because,
I'll give you a cheers.
whoa.
And then
Cheers.
we need to
cheers.
try and talk about this.
Cheers to the men. Cheers to being queer. Cheers to moving on to the round of 16, honey.
We are bossing it. We haven't lost. I'm so proud.
I got to take my sip. I don't want to jinx myself.
Before this match, I feel like, we do our own things, and I was organizing and cleaning and, trying to like get my mind off of the game.
Well, we didn't speak all day.
I know. And
that's
like,
when you know.
That's when you know how we were talking about this. I don't know how the supporters and fans and family members can sit there and watch us play. Like, I just can't do it anymore. Because I'm like, all we can do is cheer. We have no control in the game. Nothing. We can't do anything. We just have to sit and watch and like, clap and yell and hope that they hear us from here.
Can you believe? First off, so proud. What a proud moment. I just have to get this out because I feel so proud. Are you kidding me? We have not lost.
No.
We came out and we knew we needed a result against...
A what?
A result. Well, have another.
Take a sip.
Yeah.
A result.
So we needed a result. And it wasn't our best performance against Iran, but... if you are going to be successful in this tournament, you have to find ways to win.
Right.
The best teams in the world always find ways to win, even if they're at their worst. And I think they did not have their best performance today.
No, but people showed up when they had to. They were making tackles. I mean, okay,
exactly.
They were probably touch tackling because they like, a few people.
Okay, let's start. First 45 minutes. Very promising for the U.S. side.
Yeah, we had the most possession. They couldn't even get out of their own half. I feel like we were really bringing it. We were doing all the right things, except finding the forward and combining in and around the box. I feel like we were getting the ball wide. We were playing hopeful balls in. We actually got the goal off of a ball being played over the top and then immediate.
It's a big question mark for me. The attacking third.
It is. It's been an issue, I feel like. It's been
Moving
an issue.
into this game, I know when I was listening to the commentators, I think we had 2 shots on goal within the first half.
4.
We had 4 shots on goal.
The
entire tournament. Yeah. 4 shots on goal.
No, it's an issue.
If we want to be successful, if we want to be the team we believe we are, we have to be better in the final third. We have to have we're creating half chances, in my opinion. We are least in shots on goal, but one of the top in crosses in the box. But for me, crosses are a pass.
Yeah, you got to pick people out.
You have to pick people out.
They were just playing hopeful balls in.
You can't just send balls in the box and be hopeful that we're going to make something happen. Yeah. I think there's times for it, but we can't rely so heavily on our attack based on just playing the ball wide and delivering balls into the box, because I don't think we've been good enough.
Okay, well, this leads me into playing those hopeful balls, but who's on the end of them? Like, you're trying to pick people out, but who besides Pulisic is really going to do that? And that's my question of why is Greg not giving Ferrer a chance? Because I feel like he is that player.
We need fire.
He will score you goals. Just give him a chance. It's like, I don't understand why he doesn't trust him. He hasn't played. It's been 3 games. Even coming in.
Or Gio.
Yeah.
Gio hasn't played. We have so much talent. I think that first 45 minutes was good for us. I felt very in control. Iran was sitting back. They were wasting time.
First half, yeah.
Yeah, the first half they were their lines were very compact. It was very hard to play through.
Yeah, they were playing for the tie.
We had no space. It was difficult to play the way we wanted to play, which makes sense why Greg decided on his 2 center backs today.
For sure.
He knew at the beginning of the game they would sit off. So we needed our back line to be very comfortable and savvy on the ball. And I think he made the right decision today. I really did.
but I haven't really seen Carter Vickers play like consistently. I don't know if this was maybe his like
Fifth or sixth cap.
Yeah. I had no idea what to expect. Like I honestly was just kind of like, are you just throwing him in?
I felt very comfortable with him, honestly.
Once I saw him on the ball and how cool, calm, and collected he was, and building out and just making the simple pass, because I know Walker Zimmerman in the previous game was just trying to make these like long.
I was like,
yeah, just play simple, just
Yeah.
play what's on, play what you see, especially building out. Because these teams, the best in the world, are going to capitalize and they will punish you if you make mistakes. So I do agree. I think Vickers had like
I thought he was great. He was great defensively. He was great on the ball.
Calm.
He was very calm and composed. I think he sent a really good message through the team, like the vibe. He could generate and start attack. It felt good. It felt good. It felt different than the last game.
But then I was happy, like we talked about when this happened, to put in the fifth sub, and that was Walker Zimmerman, and he just went right in the middle, smooth, like just nailed it. Every ball that was in the box, he cleared. And I think we needed that. He went in, and we needed him to go in the 5 back just to solidify and to keep.
You're jumping ahead a little bit, so let's keep.
Yeah, but
into the first
when
half.
we're talking about defenders, we're talking about Zimmerman, and I think the timing of that, we needed it in the end. I think
I do
was a good
find
call.
that Greg made some really good decisions today. And you might disagree, which I love that about us, because we're not always going to agree. I still have a big question mark with our 9. I still feel like we're not connecting and gelling and creating enough dynamic. We're just not making goalkeepers make saves. And you can't win a tournament like this. You can't move on past the round of 16 with only 4 shots on goal. Like, we have to continue to test and break down teams strategically, effectively. We have to be dynamic. We have to be hungry and gritty and all the things that we are. We call it the American mentality. But we have to be very sophisticated in the final third, and we have to be hungry to continue to make goalkeepers make saves. Because you have to test them. That's part of the game. You have to put them under fire and see what they're capable of. We were hammering shots going, like, if a goalkeeper, you never know what could happen if you keep the ball on frame. And if we don't hit balls on frame and test goalkeepers, we won't continue in this tournament. It's just fact.
I remember us yelling. We were like, shoot it, shoot it. And then it's like this pass. It's like, to the other team, or just like this flick, or, is with the outside of the foot or some, just control it, play it, shoot. Like, once they get into the final third, we struggle. We get, our midfield 3 is phenomenal. Like, I just love watching us play in the midfield.
Oh,
and we're so connected. You could tell they're communicating. They support each other. They always seem to be in the right position. They're box to box. They're making tackles down the, our defensive end and the, near the corner flag. And then they're right in the attacking, creating those chances and opportunities in the attacking third. But then it just stops. It's just like, it stops. And it's really, really frustrating at times to watch, because I do feel like we have the personnel to be in those moments, to continue to combine, to continue to get more shots on goal, to continue to create those chances that we need in and around the 18. But he's not playing them. Yeah.
So, now we picked up 2 major injuries to our attacking players. So we could talk about, Pulisic I think he has been very dialed. I think he has a very big target on his back, which makes it very difficult to perform the way he wants to perform. He's getting hammered every single game, right? And he knows that, and he expects that. And you have an entire country waiting for the golden child to carry this country to success, right? And for me, him scoring that goal was a big moment. He put his body on the line so much that
he had to do that.
He had to, right? So now I didn't see him out with the men at the end of the game. So
Mhm.
that worries me a little
Mhm.
bit. I hope that they said he has an abdominal injury,
Mhm.
and that's a huge loss for us if he. The best thing now is we have days, right? So we're not in group stage anymore.
Right.
We have Saturday. We know we're
Play on
playing the
the third. Yeah, yeah.
Netherlands. Is this enough time for us to get healthy with our hot hitters? You know, Sargent as well got injured.
Kenny
McKinney's
with his
banged up with
quad.
his quad.
Yeah.
You know, today you saw how he had a weird injury to his ankle, Sargent.
Mhm.
I don't know how serious it is. He looked like he was walking fine after the game.
But maybe this gives Ferreira or Reina, someone else, an opportunity to play, and maybe it just kind of creates a different, I don't know, different momentum for the team, just a different
Consistency,
vibe.
though. What about consistency? That's what I feel like is
Yeah,
lacking.
but I don't think either one, Sargent or Wright, I don't think either one of them had like such an incredible performance that they deserve to continue to play.
No one's owned that starting position.
Right. So that it's a hole for me. It's a complete hole, the 9. And
But Greg has to know that. He has to see
for
that.
sure. He's a national team coach. Of course he does. So that's why I'm confused. Why?
Like
Why?
Ferreira
Where's
scoring,
the trust?
Ferreira scoring all these goals in the
I mean,
MLS.
we've talked about it.
Everyone's talking about it though.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it. So what is it?
I don't
Like
know.
I wish I was a reporter in that room asking him these questions because I want to know. I'm frustrated.
Right.
I want to see his flair, his fire, what he can bring. He's checked all the boxes in our domestic league.
You put him on the team. If you didn't put him on the team,
he was starting moving into the tournament until a few days beforehand. So what was the issue? What's the what happened?
But if you put him on the team, you must trust him in some way, shape, or form. So, what is it?
The guy scores goals.
I don't know. Wright and Sargent for me are just not cutting it, and I think we need to find somebody else to figure it out.
So now we move to the second half. Totally different game. I felt like we didn't have Iran had complete control, moving the ball. We decided to make a system change. We went into a 5-back, which is the right thing to do. Late, yeah, but in the 80th minute,
we
had to. But I feel in those moments we can't stop playing. 45 minutes is too long to have no control of the game. I felt in those 45 minutes we were like, oh shit, we need to sit back, preserve this lead. and I kept saying to you when I was watching the game, it's too early to sit back and trust a 1-0 lead. We have to be smart. We have to be compact. Our lines have to be tight. We can't let the game open up too much, right? But we started sitting back from the get. And we can't do that. A tie, our backs were against. It's not enough.
You need to go try to get another.
We needed to get another goal and continue playing because we lost all momentum because we chose to do that. And I don't want to say we hit a panic button. We didn't hit a panic button, but we just didn't perform well in the second half because we knew the importance of winning that game. We knew we had the 1-0 lead, and we came out a little bit like it's the scariest lead in football, right? If it was 2-0, it would have felt different, right? It would have felt different. But I was happy with the substitutions Greg made. I was happy Aronson came on. I'm a big fan of him. The only thing for me is back to goal. He was just getting knocked off the ball.
Not really his position.
It's not.
But I trust him there.
Trust him too.
He's gonna come inside. He's gonna kind of do his thing, and be a kind of like an inverted, winger at times. But I do think that choice was fine. That was fine. But that was the adjustment, right? That you could tell Pulisic wasn't on the field anymore. And so the second half, Iran had better of the play, but they also weren't executing. They were kind of playing hopeful balls in and around our 18 too.
I don't think
they were just wanting to get the ball forward.
I did not feel like
I didn't feel threatened.
No, he didn't have to make any saves. No. I mean, at the end there was this Zimmerman was it was a clearance off the line. Yeah. And he came out and he made himself big. Yeah. But I feel like our defending and emergency defending in the box, we continue to do enough and put
Yeah.
ourselves in positions
Dest making that
to
one.
affect
Yeah, Dest
the
making that
runner.
one tackle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Or just being there to kind of put
games
him off balance.
games are won inside both 18 boxes, and
Yeah.
I feel that
Mhm.
we have work to do in the attacking final third, but in our box, I do feel our men have been incredible at defending and being compact, hunting in packs.
Today was good. Yeah.
They played their hearts out.
Mhm.
I felt till the last moment when that whistle blew, they were sprinting, they were hunting,
Mhm.
they understood the importance, they understood the game plan,
Mhm.
they executed it, we won,
Yeah.
and we all aged from it. And I'm sitting in a mound of cuticles and fingernail
I
polish because I was
really appalled at that.
digging at my skin.
Yeah, that was kind of gross.
I hate it. I hate the way I feel. I'm so stressed. But and it's because I want nothing but the best for these men.
Yeah.
And what a great feeling to move into the round of 16 after missing out on the World Cup 4 years ago. Not many, but a few of the guys know the feeling. Pulisic knows what is at stake. He knows, he carries it probably with him every single day. I'm sure it keeps him up almost every night of what happened 4 years ago. And they don't want to make that mistake again. So they're taking every opportunity to prove that they belong here. And they've done that in this group stage because this group was not easy. It wasn't a walk in the park.
I think today the difference, though, was that every player was a defender today. That's how they have to think every single game. You have to go into games understanding that just because you're in the attack doesn't mean you don't defend. And that was a game changer today because we were, just 360 defending. We always talk about this. And once the ball goes past you, what is your next action? And I think that was a big change from previous games to today. Maybe when your back's up against the wall and you just feel like you have to do everything you can and leave everything on the field. And by the end of the game, we saw that every single player was just exhausted because they gave everything they could. And that's something that we clearly saw and noticed. And I think through every tackle, through every play that somebody sprinted back to get into position, to get behind the ball, I think we saw that today, and that was refreshing kind of going into the next round because now they have the practice game that they just played to now carry them into the next round because it's another must win. And so I feel like today was such a good chance and practice game for them to prepare them mentally for the next round because they have to do it all over again.
Absolutely.
And so, what do you think they're thinking? Now you're like in the driver's seat once again, and you have to just process, reevaluate, go back, take a moment, and start it all over again, prepping for Saturday.
Greg walks into that locker room and says, we did enough, but it wasn't our best performance. But I will say, he will tell them, the American mentality is always you find a way. They found a way today. And we can be proud of that. We now have a streak of 2 ties against 2 great teams.
Right.
We won today when it mattered. We have put in really promising performances, and we have to continue to build and be a better team if we want to continue in this tournament. So what do you think as we walk away from this group stage, because it's presented so many different challenges and obstacles at this point, which just gives them more comfort and more boxes to check and more momentum.
Right.
What do we need to do moving into this game Saturday against the Netherlands to be successful? Because the Netherlands are going to be a different beast.
I don't think we sit back. We go after it. We have nothing to lose, right? Like, you have to have that mentality of we need to get after it like we did against England. I want to see the confidence. I want to see just the coolness of the team, the calmness on the ball, the purposeful passes, the purposeful runs. I just want to see us together going after it, because this is their one chance. And they can't say, oh, just like we did, oh, we're playing the Netherlands. Oh God, this is going to be, but they have to go out there thinking that they're going to win, thinking that they will move on to the next round with that mentality and that type of pressure they can thrive in. And so I think it's going to be really important for them as a group to just go out there and already feel like they're going to win.
I felt like we were very swaggy against England.
Oh, same.
We were loose.
Not going to.
And I don't know if that's because a lot of us play against them on a weekend basis where they just were like, oh, I'm not worried about Harry Kane. Like, I play with him. Yeah.
Right. Right.
I just feel
Tim was like, I get this, twice
we definitely felt swaggy in a way
Yeah.
that I have never seen before when we are playing against a top 5 team in the world. But this is my thing, right? So, yeah, I felt like they were swaggy against England. But the Netherlands, they're not going to be as prepared. They don't play. I mean, a few players have historically been playing there or raised there. There's a few of our players, but I don't want them walking into this game feeling like they don't belong. And I don't think they will. I don't think that that's going to be it at all. But they're going to present different challenges. And the biggest thing is, and you know this because we've been in World Cups, and sometimes we're not always the best team performing. But what I love so much about how we progressed in the tournament, we just focused on ourselves. The men have to just focus. If they get too caught up in the Netherlands, if they get too caught up in their players and how they play and what they, I mean, you have to think about their back line and how solid they are and what challenge. I mean, they're very big. They're very physical. So I don't want them to get caught up in this weird, like, unknown. Like, I don't want them to focus. What I'm trying to say is I don't want them to focus as much on the Netherlands as ourselves. We cannot walk into this game worrying more about the other team than what we're going to do.
I agree, actually, with what you said. We have to go into this game thinking we're going to win and thinking we're the better team and thinking we are already in the top 5. But what I will say is that being the best team doesn't always mean you have to have the best players. Being the best team and winning on that day means that you are connected, you are working for each other, you have that winning mentality. Everyone's on the same page, and doing the best that they can individually to help the team be successful. So I don't necessarily think, even though maybe the Netherlands have technical, tactical visionaries on their team, that doesn't, and goal scorers, that does not mean that we can't show up and win just because we don't have that. Because what we do have is that American mentality, that American work, and that work ethic, the mentality, that spirit, and the character that, and the confidence that we have just by being us. No pun intended. We can win on any day. And I just wanted to say that I feel like the spirit of the team and the mentality that even Tyler Adams had touched on a few press conferences back, we can win, whether we are technically, not as
we have nothing to fucking
capable
lose.
or not. Yeah,
literally. All the pressure's on Netherlands, sure as hell not on us. When we walk into that game, we are the underdogs, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. We can use that towards our advantage because we have nothing to lose. And these guys, they don't give a shit.
Right.
They just don't. If that's what if anything that they have proved through this group stage, they ain't stressed at all.
No.
They're not worried about playing against England. They're not worried about playing against Wales, Netherlands.
A must win.
Their preparation is all the years they've put in when no one was watching. Now it's showtime.
And it's the fun part.
This is the best
Because
part.
when we would go through the group stage, you're like, all right, we gotta go through the group stage, and like it is what it is, right? It's not like we don't take it lightly. But then you're like, all right, now the pressure, you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, well, we have to win.
Win or
There's
go home.
There's no other
Win or go
choice.
home.
So I think now is the fun part. Now you really roll your sleeves up extra, extra tight, like a Becky Sauerbrunn type of roll.
I think they
and
can
you get
breathe.
after it.
They can breathe,
Yeah.
Ali, because the
Yes, but-
expectation, what I'll say, and you can disagree, the expectation was it was always going to be a success for our men if they made it out of the group stage.
Right. But now
That's a success for us.
yeah, but now
honestly.
we have to change that narrative and change that mentality. Now we should be thinking we have to make it out of the group. Like that's the expectation now. Now it's changing that view of the US and being like, listen, we are better. We are ready for the round of 16. We have to make it there now.
Do you feel that we're at the place where the expectation is running and contest, like in contention to be like to medal in a big tournament like this? Do you
I
feel
always believe that.
You
and
feel-
believe that.
this is me
I
playing
always-
devil's advocate. I just want to know your opinion.
No, I always believe that. I always believe we could be the best.
Because
No matter if
people
you-
are going to ask that. Do you think that the American side can really go through this tournament and be successful?
If we perform like we did today as a collective group, a complete performance, whether it was, it's not always going to be perfect. And if we compete like we did against England and have that confidence, if we mesh or mix the two
Mhm.
and we apply that into the next rounds, we will be golden. We'll be unstoppable. And maybe that's just
Well, we
me.
better be golden.
Maybe that's me.
Gold or bust.
Maybe that's me just like speaking it into existence. But I really believe that with this young squad,
I am manifesting all the fucking things. Right
yeah,
now.
and I think they can go a really long way. And as long as they, play together and share the ball and stop fucking touch tackling. Like it
that wasn't
kills
good.
me.
That's the thing this is what I will say. The unforced turnovers and the passes, the interception once we gain possession,
And once they
the
think they have
interception
space.
passes to just turn the ball back over, Netherlands will punish us.
Listen, we've done it. Maybe
Iran
not you.
did not punish us. There were times where we gave the ball away in really bad places. They did not punish us or expose
but
us.
we can be exposed.
Netherlands will do that.
Oh, for sure.
So they have to be better moving forward, and they know that. They know they weren't good enough on the ball today.
Just in our wide spaces, though. Just even if you feel like you have 10 yards of space, just keep it tight. But like, look for the next pass. Just play what you see. I feel like we're always trying to. Once we get it wide, we're like, okay, well,
Just
let's
deliver.
fucking put it in the box.
Yeah.
It's like no, just like relax. If it's not on, don't play it, because then they're just gonna come right back down our throat.
We
Just
need more
continue to
quality
combine.
chances moving forward. And in order to get quality chances moving forward has to be a lot more interchange.
Right.
We have to be a lot more unpredictable.
Mhm.
We have to be a lot more
Dynamic.
just dynamic and better on the ball. Willing, like Mbappe, he's on the ball. Defenders their heads are spinning.
But that's why I think we see the disconnect in the final
Mhm.
third. That's why I think
little-
we got to figure that part out. And I think everything else, because I feel like the back line.
Why are we 3 games into the tournament and
Because-
still not figuring it out?
Because they don't train together for 3 weeks before the tournament. They didn't even have maybe 10 days together before the tournament. And I feel like, they're not building those relationships as much as we do with our national team, because we train 3-4 weeks before a tournament like this. They don't have that luxury.
Well, we're together 360
But listen,
days
they
all
know the
year.
game.
Yeah.
They play it week in and week out. They should. But relationships and consistency is what we
Subgroups,
always talk about.
connection, it is key to
It's
success.
the most important.
Totally
And so
agree.
I think that's the difference. That is why we are kind of seeing
The disconnect in the final third. You nailed it. I think that factor there and that topic will be the difference between winning and losing against the Netherlands. If we
Mhm.
don't figure out that final third
Yeah.
and
you're
we don't vary our attack, because
Mhm.
now the Netherlands are like, oh, let them just send balls in the box.
We'll
Look
defend
who
all
we
day.
have.
We have Van Dijk just winning
Come on.
every
Yeah.
ball being played in.
We
Yeah.
don't have enough height and strength and power.
We need to combine. We need to continue. We need to shoot on frame.
Yeah.
And not, I don't know. I feel like today, even, last thing I'll say about this, because, you know, we don't want to beat a dead horse, but I feel when our attacking players get in the box and they're, you know, a ball's laid off and they go to shoot, it's not this finesse placement. It's let me burn a hole in the back of the net.
Well, you're
And
burning
then
a
it
hole in
ends
the
up-
back of the stadium because it's going off.
It's going in row
50,
Z.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a field
But
goal.
that's why I'm so frustrated, because I'm like, just fucking combine and just have a little finesse and placement.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be like this miraculous, like,
look away his goal,
I know.
right? That was called back.
Yeah. But also
But-
before that, he had the one that ripped right over
It's just just
the
place it in the
crossbar.
corner. Just
and
put
he's
the
good
ball
enough to do it. That's why I'm
in
just
the corner.
that's why I'm frustrated, because we have the players to have the finesse and put the ball in the back of the net.
For far too long, and I can say this, for far too long, the women have been carrying the torch in our federation.
Right.
For far too long, it's been the men have taken the back seat.
They're gonna be fine though.
I'm telling you,
They're gonna be fine.
It's like, oh well, the women
We
win
can keep
all
carrying
this.
the torch.
The
The men are
women
gonna be
win this. The women, you know, we've won 4 world championships now.
fine. Yeah.
I want them to be so successful because they deserve it.
Yeah.
They work so hard. They make the sacrifices needed.
Mhm.
They're trying to bring the sport of football and soccer, the culture to our country.
Mhm, mhm.
And they've missed out on so much, and they've been ridiculed, and they've been almost like laughed at in a weird way, like, oh, you're a male, you play soccer, you know?
Yeah,
Like
I
these
know.
men deserve
Yeah.
the respect.
Let's get it to the #1 sport in the United States.
I want soccer to
Yeah.
continue to be the driving sport in our country that people say, I want to pick that. I want to do that. I choose that. And they're doing that for young men and women right now.
Yeah.
And they're carrying the country on their
Yeah.
back. And for a lot of years, they've been hated.
Mhm.
You know, think 4 years back, the country turned on them. They were pissed.
But I also feel like a lot of the criticism that even
Fueled
we
them.
have today, fueled them, but also a lot of the criticism that we even have now, exactly in this moment, and about the World Cup and the games and all the things, is because we know how good they can be.
Mm-hmm.
And they just need to show it day in and day out.
Yeah.
In every game. And sometimes they don't do that. But the frustration lies in knowing that they are really, really good
Really good.
individually and as a team, but they have to believe it and then they have to apply it. And today was a great example of that. Maybe we need to wear our jerseys next match.
Get me a fucking Matt Turner jersey. Jesus, U.S. Soccer.
I know.
You know my address.
Anyway, cheers to the boys.
Cheers to the boys. Very proud.
I'm so proud.
Proud to be an American today
Yeah.
for sure. And this is just the start. So,
And I think they heard us today. We were cheering
Well, they
really
fucking
loud. I
heard.
think they heard us.
bought a new TV for these bitches.
See ya.